You know, if the live-action movie version of Ghost in the Shell was a remake of Solid State Society, or at least took away some of the ideas like cyborg suicide, then I would be satisfied. This movie, which is an offshoot of the Ghost in the Shell TV series, has everything a fan of the franchise could wish for: badass elite cops, strange music, and a very complex investigation that makes me wonder how the characters even managed to keep up with it all. I didn't manage to keep up with it all. But that's the beauty of Ghost in the Shell. There's cybercrime cases which are so messy and so convoluted that you just end up getting lost in them. When it's done right, it's not really a problem. I watch a Ghost in the Shell TV episode, TV movie, theatrical movie, whatever, to get consumed by the complexity, and there's plenty of that here. Solid State Society takes place after Series 2 of Standalone Complex. The Major is gone and Togusa leads the growing Section 9 team as they attempt to find the Puppeteer, a hacker who is kidnapping children and making those politically involved commit suicide. That's what I gather anyway. There's so much death and concepts and detail to the point where I got lost about 10 minutes in, but I got lost inside it, not outside it, if you get me. Just like in Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, the Major's disappearance doesn't really affect the movie on the whole. We still feel her presence, and she has a lot more screen time than I initially predicted she would have. And also, Togusa and Batou are still strong enough leading characters. While it was Batou who stole the show in Innocence, here it's Togusa who shines. This is the most badass I have ever seen him. He's tough and strict, and really dedicated to police work while still appreciating his family. Batou is resilient as ever, and so is Aramaki. I don't quite get what was happening between Aramaki and the bedbound man, but I'm guessing the bedbound man is somehow connected to Aramaki family-wise in some way. There's a few references to previous characters in the franchise too, and I found the whole puppet master from the original movie appearing to be very interesting, considering Section 9 are after someone called the Puppeteer. As for the animation, well, it's by Production IG. What did you expect? Their animation for this movie is on point. Well framed, glorious looking shots that made me forget I was watching animation. Production IG don't mess about, they make sure every frame counts, which is backed up with a screenplay that knows how to be complicated without forcing it. I read somewhere that Solid State was criticised for being too dialogue heavy, which is really odd to me because Ghost in the Shell, at least in the standalone complex world, is not a franchise based on action. It's based on, you guessed it, complexity. It entertains by being really confusing, so of course there had to be plenty of dialogue. Ghost in the Shell Arise is action-based. Now that I think about it, I didn't really notice how dialogue-heavy Solid States was. Sure, I can't recall any action sequences beside the short final one, but it was so much fun watching the Section 9 team work their way through the maze-like investigation. I never got bored. This movie is a little too much for me to take in, and I think it was surprisingly lacking on the political side despite there being multiple politicians involved, but I appreciate that it had ideas and it knew what it was doing. I just really hope that this is what Hollywood looks to for the most inspiration for the live action movie. It's a beautiful and beautifully confusing cybercrime thriller. 4 stars out of 5.